Vietnam people will shoot you if you don't like this video and subscribe right now. I got this squish because it looks exactly like my cat. Picture for proof. Fans didn't forget them. 2014, 2015, 2016, 2020. This guy cleaned up an entire park by himself. I did it. Yes. Finally. 103 days. 103 hikes. 103 buckets of trash. Today, after walking to our waterfalls and back, I failed to find enough trash to fill half my bucket, let alone the entire thing. I think I have successfully cleaned up my entire park. My 98-year-old grandma has been making me birthday cards for years. This one is the most plain of them all, but meant the most. Happy birthday, Elliot. You have blessed my life for 47 years. This will be my last time trying to write on computer and doing it as hands. Don't want to write a now, memory going fast. But trying to do a birthday card for you, my dear precious Elliot. Love you so much. Grandma Rose. My sister's dog was at the park and another golden retriever ran up to play. After talking to the owner, it turns out they are brothers from the same litter. Went to my brother's graduation and saw a little girl taking pictures of her dad who had just graduated too. It was just them two. I was crying, she was so proud of him. Ryan Reynolds replies to a burn victim. It would make my dream come true if at Vancity Reynolds got to see this post. I'll learn to do the splits just for this photo. Deadpool has. Holy shit. Jadiant. This made my year. Can't even describe what this post means to me. Also, I can do the splits, but only once a year, and it has to be in the lobby of a hospital. This lady at Jamba Juice just cut me in line and the worker saw, so when it was my time to order, he goes, "Congrats, you were the 18th customer today. You get a free drink of choice." Oh my ducking god. Her face. Actual photo of service dogs watching Billy Elliot the musical as part of their behaving in a theater training. My heart can't take it. A little black girl at the gas station told me, "I like your big hair." So I'm feeling pretty invincible right now, to be honest. She had a pineapple with the two braids on either side of her head and some glittery beads. I told her I liked hers too, and she said my daddy did it from YouTube. The kids at the high school reached their goal at Cupid Shuffle on money raised, and they wanted to see their coach dressed as an emo. He pulled through and slayed it. My parents invited all their friends and family to a costume party there. When people got there, they found out it was actually their wedding. I had a crappy birthday, but my local pizza place had my back. It's taken me 45 trips around the sun. But for the first time in my life, I know what it feels like to have a band-aid in my own skin tone. You can barely even spot in the first image. For real. I'm holding back tears. How is same-sex marriage viewed where you live? In Canada, we just call it marriage. And since it's not hockey, nobody really cares which team you're playing for. One of my dearest and best friends, who is also my neighbor, asked if he could get my spare keys to let my dog out while I was at work today, and I just got home. My neighbor's cat got our cat pregnant. I was joking with him that they would have to pay child support. When I opened the door this morning, this is what I saw. Child support. It's a winner. Reviewed in the United States on July 30th, 2015. Even I could make it work, and I took the nicest picture of myself in 50 years. I don't really have anyone to tell, but I'm going to be a dad. Never be afraid to say you were wrong. I'm sorry, I'm late. I had a lot to learn. Black Lives Matter. It's not much, literally, but I just got my first paycheck after years of unemployment due to some mental health issues. We gotta start somewhere. $21.62. A guy named Weird AI has had a 40+ year long career with no allegations of censor impropriety. One of my favorite stories I've heard about Weird AI was when the moment he realized he had finally made it. This was in the early 80s. He had been invited to a music industry party and wasn't really sure if he would go or not. He didn't think anyone knew about him or cared. When he got the party, he heard someone yell from across the room, "Holy shit, it's Weird AI. Weird AI is here." He looked over and saw it was actually Paul McCartney who yelled it. In order to avoid legal complications, I've gone down the rabbit hole searching through volumes of short stories in the public domain for appropriate content for families and have come up empty. You have my blanket permission for any of my stories, Lever. Is that for all of us? We have a program here where people read stories for kids on video, and they are posted online. I was thinking of reading some in English in order to diversify. Chew, here I come. It's for all of you. My grandma died when I was 4. But before she passed, she wrote me a graduation letter and left a gift. I just got to open it after 14 years. Just retired after 42 years as an obstetrical nurse at the same hospital. Here I'm at the start, 1979, and end of my career. Street singer was ignored by everyone. Then 4 kittens came to show their support. Whenever I'm sad, I just think about this one time sophomore year when a girl gave my teacher this cake to commemorate the 3-month anniversary of us turning in our essays that still hadn't been graded. If dogs actually played poker, they'd be awful at bluffing. Their tails would give them away. Not necessarily. They could be wagging their tails whether they are bluffing or not, because they are just happy to be playing poker with their friends. My daughter's crayon version of Starry Night she did after we talked about famous art. Doctor's office called. We are very much so very pregnant. The number came in at over 1,000. So I need to do another blood test Friday. But they are beyond excited. Everything looks number-wise fantastic. K. This is my friend TJ. Wearing a costume she made for Halloween 1977. She was 16 at the time. Now, keep in mind, there was no internet to search for images. She could not have rented and paused the movie, because it wasn't released on video until 1982. No, TJ just went to the movie a bunch of times, took notes with a flashlight, drew a bunch of sketches, and put this together in 1977. So let's bury this bullshit about how women didn't grow up on Star Wars. For those of you that don't know, I'm not accepted by my parents for being gay. I have struggled for 5 years with them and decided this year to cut off contact. This my first Christmas not with them, and this is how Sarah's, my fiance, dad tagged my gift to Kale from dad. As I hoisted my own luggage into the trunk, my very polished cab driver, impressed, shouted, "Strong girl, farm." And this is the only way I wish strange men to speak with me, moving forward. He did all this while he was himself suffering from cancer, a true king. This is my little boy Harry. Harry has been receiving chemotherapy since February 2021. Last week Harry got the all clear. Saturday, June 18th we will be closed. 2 of our longtime employees are getting married. We will be taking the day off to celebrate the special day with them. Sorry for any inconvenience this may cause. We will be back open Sunday at 11 AM. They never truly leave us. Look at how the ashes scattered at my dog's favorite park. My papa lost my gran in February after being married 50 years, and it broke my heart how lonely he's been since. And today came to me all pleased with himself, telling me he'd found a group of men widowers that meet up each month to do woodwork, and they're letting him join. Ukraine just received a massive shipment of weapons from Spain. The Ukrainians found Spanish sausages among the boxes with grenade launchers and a postcard saying, "I wish you victory. With love, Letitia." It took them a moment to understand that it was from the Queen of Spain. Driving to get groceries when spotted a doggo giving the biggest abo he had in him. My mother, who watched every single one of Marvel's movies with me, passed away January this year. Therefore, I'm here to bring her eyes to watch the new Doctor Strange movie. Those glasses were her favorite. Back in 2013, J. Cole promised a fan, who was in high school at the time, that he would attend her college graduation. Cole kept his word and was there for her graduation at Rowan University yesterday. I read your letter twice now. You are so strong. I admire you. I will be at your graduation. Only if you get into a 4-year university. Go. Joining the 4% of black therapists in the US soon. Had me in the first half. I've been in a relationship with this guy for 2 years and recently I asked him if he loved me and he was a bit evasive. I tell him I love him every day, but he's never said it back. I feel like I do a lot for him, so I don't know. Am I being unreasonable? Oh, I should add I'm female, 35. He's male, too. My husband passed away while I was pregnant. I was wheeled back alone to get prepped. They asked me if I wanted them to go get someone to be with me. I had a urge support system waiting. I explained to them that anyone I brought back would be sad, that they were there instead of my husband, and it would be a sad moment instead of the happy joyous occasion I wanted it to be. They took what I said and ran with it. It was super upbeat and happy in there. Everyone was having a ball and super excited. It was 2 in the morning, but that didn't stop the music and party that was had in there, or for the arrival of my little girl. After it was all over, the surgeons high-five over my body and said that was the best C-section they had ever seen, and my scar would be beautiful, and I would definitely be a candidate for a VBAC. They were not wrong. My scar was almost insensible. I had minimal pain and no side effects. I just look back and I'm so grateful they gave me such a positive experience when I was at my lowest and just needed to celebrate the life of my little one. This is what rescue means. Showing depression whose boss made me smile. I can finally relax in my room. I gave this embroidery as a gift to my religious grandma and she loved it. A concerned old lady left this note. Please be aware that baby dear is sleeping right under your tire. Thanks. My 5-year-old spent over an hour taping all of his artwork onto his bedroom wall last night. When I told him it looked great, he proudly told me my teacher said I'm an artist. Teachers, never underestimate how much your positive words mean to our kids. Dad was in town visiting. Found out he drove to my office today and sat in my waiting room for 30 minutes just to hear patients check in to see Dr. Panyaganti. An Indian woman, a Japanese woman, and a Syrian woman, all training to be doctors at Women's Medical College of Philadelphia 1885. Today I'm officially 10 years heroin free. My longest online friend is moving countries. He traveled 13 hours to meet me. I know. My selfie skills are terrible. But just look at this baby penguin and everything will appear better. I met my PlayStation friend of 9 years for my wedding. When I was a kid, I distinctly remember a phone call from a telemarketer asking for the man of the house. My mom's reply, speaking. Goddamn legend. As a kid I was one of 10 winners for a sweepstakes to be pen pal with Robin for a year. I was stoked and was like 8 or 9 years old. My brother and sister told me it probably wasn't going to be him, just a publicist or intern. I didn't care. My family went to Disney that summer and I wrote a letter while in the car and I was determined to give it to Genie because I was convinced he was always playing him in the costume and wanted to hand deliver at least one. Well, of all coincidences in the world, Robin actually was there signing autographs. I was ecstatic, literally jumping for joy as I'm in line. We get to him, and I'm rambling telling him how I was a winner, and about the letter and yada yada. He just goes, "Kyle," with a massive grin, and opens his coat and pulls out my letter from a month prior that was with a few others. Apparently he kept all our letters on him, while on the road, to help cheer himself up, which devastates me now thinking about what that meant. When he died I cried into my then wife's arms for a full hour. I felt I really lost a true friend. That got me through so much growing up. I miss you, Robin. Every day. 19 years later. She's a pilot. Just like her dad. Pictures of my son looking at me are primarily my favorite. I'll fight to protect this smile. I love you. You're probably thinking, you don't even know me. But if people can hate for no reason, I can love. I feel really weird about turning 30 tonight. My grandma asked how old I was turning, and I didn't want to say it. And she said 30? I said yes. She says, "You mean I've gotten to know you that long? Wow, isn't that nice?" It was so sincere. I no longer feel weird. Just boarded my plane back to Chicago and sat next to an older white man who slowly turns, pauses, and says assalamu alaikum in a way that was clear that he had been practicing for this moment. It was just cute, and I wanted to share a wholesome Muslim airport story, that is all. This family decided to lose weight together. My dog was declared answer free today, so I'm reverse searing him a steak. Standing in line at the supermarket and this lady with a small kid is counting change to pay for eggs and a quart of milk. Tell me why another lady behind me saw me reach for my wallet and said wanna go half on some more food for her? Girl. Yes, I love good people. For real. I don't know what they are learning, but they are trying their best. The weatherman dog had a small dog couch. My friend finally got a new wheelchair after waiting 13 years. His smile says it all. Anytime you feel alone, remember there are 15 billion antibodies flowing through your veins who would die in order to protect you. Lifeguard living his best life. 27 years later. 1993. 2020. Flew to Canada from the States to finally meet my Xbox Live friends after 5 years of playing together. I'm taking my daughters to McDonald's and the movies after school today. They have no idea. They think we are going home to do spring cleaning, which I already did. I can hardly contain myself. I'm so excited. When you live in a state that isn't always so welcoming to the LGBT community, seeing our allies is always a heartwarming moment. 21 years of loving this most excellent kid. My stepdaughter won her middle school art show. A girl in my sorority once ran across campus to bring me a battery for my insulin pump because I was in lab, and today she pulled out a handful of batteries and said she carries them around just in case I need one, and it's honestly the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. My dad died 3 years ago, but on Google Maps he is still doing some gardening which he loved. Got my first job on the 10th day of my release from prison. Starting from the bottom up. This guy got on the bus and just stared at me and lullabell on my lap for a solid 30 seconds then goes, "Are you allowed to have dogs on the bus?" And I just shrugged thinking he was gonna give me shut or something, but then he pulls out a chihuahua out of nowhere. My criminal record kept me from getting a job, so I hired myself, got hot dog cart off Craigslist and a Sam's Club membership, made $400 a day, $300 more than what that employer was offering. Dog dealers of Reddit, what is the strangest thing you have been offered in compensation for dogs? Ex-user of opiates here. My dealer would only give me the dogs if I gave him my blades and allowed him to check me for any cuts. I was in a seriously dark time and he helped me in a lot of ways. Eventually, once I started to get better, he refused to sell me any dogs and also made it clear to his friend dealers that I was blacklisted. One of the reasons I turned my life around. I was depressed a while ago, and then one day, when I felt better, I was singing in the kitchen while making dinner. My roommate bursts in like, "Oh thank goodness," and I was like, "What?" And she said, "You stop singing when you're unhappy and our house has been silent for 4 months." My mom has to stay in her room in isolation for her aunt's radiation, so my dad set up a desk at her door to keep her company, and I'm crying. Laugh all you want. The Shaq brand has sold over 120 million pairs of affordable shoes for kids at Walmart. My wife was helping my son go pretty, so I decided to help unload the groceries and found this. My grandfather always had candy in his pockets, and one time, when I got really sick and I was hospitalized, my dad told him not to give me any candy. He pulled out his pockets to show he hadn't even brought any, and I got really sad. But as soon as my dad walked out of the room, he then proceeded to take off his hat and had 2 chewy chocolate candy toffees and 2 orange Fanta toffees, and I'll never forget the happiness and surprise I felt in that one moment in my entire life. Ordered balloons for my mummy finishing chemo on Tuesday, saying duck answer, and got this morning. Hi Shannon. Thank you for shopping with us. Amazon seller AT&T Ltd has encountered an expected problem with completing your order. Message from seller AT&T Ltd. Hi Shannon. We have refunded your order because we agree with your balloons. Do not worry. The balloons are still on the way for you. Use the refunded money to get some cake. All the love from Noel at AT&T Ltd.